What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So if you just picked up a shiny new Samsung Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus, one of the first and most important accessories you'll probably end up getting for it is a new case. There are a lot of cases on the market. I've covered some already on this channel and will certainly cover more in future videos. But for this video, one of the most reputable and well-known case manufacturers, OtterBox, was kind enough to send out their entire lineup of S8 and S8 Plus cases for me to take a look at. And as big of a fan of OtterBox as I am, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. OtterBox has been in the game for years and years, and they produce some of the most widely used and all-around best cases for all of the major devices. And this year, for the S8 and S8 Plus, they've got their usual 4 case varieties: the Defender series, the Commuter series, the Symmetry series, and the Strada Folio series, and I'm going to go over each case one by one in this video so you can get an idea of what they all have to offer. Of course, if you're interested in learning more about the cases or purchasing one for yourself, I'll have links to all the different case varieties in different colors at the cheapest prices in the video description. So enough talking, let's go ahead and get into it. To kick things off, the first case we'll look at is the Symmetry series, and this is my personal favorite of the lineup for a couple of reasons. The case is super simple and relatively minimalistic. The entire thing is one single piece with no crazy patterns or designs except for the rubber texture on the inside of the case, which you won't ever see, and the OtterBox logo around back on the bottom. It's constructed from a combination of firm rubber and solid plastic that's fused together, which makes the case rigid enough to feel tough and high quality, but still flexible to get on and off your phone. The inside and edges are all rubber to absorb any impact from drops, and the outside and back are that solid textured plastic. Installing it on the phone is very simple. Literally just slide the phone into the case, pull over the corners, and that's it. You're good to go. The Symmetry series is OtterBox's slimmest profile, which is one of the reasons I'm a fan. It's minimally intrusive, doesn't add much bulk to the phone really, and certainly doesn't affect usage when you hold the phone with one hand. And the rubber and textured plastic do offer quite a bit more grip. Towards the bottom, you have all the necessary cutouts for the headphone jack, USB-C port, and speaker. The left side has access to the volume up and down and Bixby buttons, and the right has the power button, which all work just fine with the case, still nice and clicky. And of course, around back you have a big cutout for the fingerprint sensor, camera, and LED flash. This case also has a little bit of a lip to it, which helps protect the screen a bit. When the phone is face down, for example, on the table rubbing around, the case is what takes all the damage, and the screen is completely fine. And when you're done with the Symmetry series case and want to try something new, it's very easy to take off the phone as well. With the Symmetry case out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the Commuter series. At first glance, this case looks and feels pretty similar in a lot of ways. It's a very simple design with the classic OtterBox logo around back, but what differentiates the Commuter series is its true separate two-piece design. The outer layer of the case is a hard plastic shell, and it sits mostly on the back and around the edges of the case to offer some rigidity. It's tough enough to take a beating, but flexible enough to where it won't snap. The inside layer is a super soft and very flexible rubber material that offers even more impact and shock protection, in addition to some grip for the phone along both sides for holding it. Installing this case is once again really easy. You can start by pulling over the rubber layer on the phone and making sure all the corners and edges are lined up, and then the back plastic piece sort of clamps around the back and edges of the case to hold everything in place. While this case is a little more bulky than the Symmetry series since the rubber is thicker and the case is 2 pieces, it's still relatively non-intrusive and doesn't add much size in your hand. You get pretty thick edges and corners to protect the screen as much as possible. On the bottom, you have a couple flaps that cover the USB-C port and headphone jack to keep dust and debris out of them. On the sides, all of your buttons are fully accessible and can be easily pressed, and you can see that sort of textured finish for some added grip as well. And of course, around back, a big single cutout for everything that you need. As far as protecting the phone, you get certified drop protection for everyday spills and a nice edge to once again keep the screen up and off any surfaces if your phone is face down. And like the Symmetry, the Commuter case is very easy to pull off the phone when you're done with it as well. Now, if you're looking for the maximum amount of protection for your device, the OtterBox Defender series case has been the go-to style for a long time. This is a big, thick, multi-layer case that offers protection across every inch of the phone, and even comes with a belt clip to keep your phone at your side if you're into that. They did change the Defender series case a little bit for the S8, which I'll mention in just a minute, but to start off, you can see that this case comes in a couple different pieces that offer various types of protection. There's an inside hardshell plastic layer that comes apart in 2 pieces. The back portion is pretty solid, but on the inside where your phone rests, you get a pretty thick layer of foam to help absorb any impacts that the device may take if it ends up falling. The second piece is sort of an outer frame that will clamp everything down in place before you add on the other layer, which is this thick rubber piece. This piece is pretty soft and obviously extremely flexible and takes things to another level. The rubber here is definitely thicker than anything offered on the other cases we looked looked at, and that's a good thing for sure. Now, you can already guess that installing this case is a little bit of a process with all of the pieces. The plastic shell goes on first, of course, and you'll need to clamp down the frame on the back piece using the bunch of little clips that are scattered around the edges. This makes sure everything is sealed tightly before you go ahead and put on the thick rubber outer layer. The rubber piece stretches all the way around the plastic housing and is a little tricky to put on as well. You need to make sure that all the edges line up and sort of fit inside the appropriate groove, and you'll be able to tell if you did this right just by looking and seeing if it's all lined up. This case, of course, being the thickest of the three designs, will add quite a bit of bulk to the phone. It's still pretty manageable, but you definitely tell you have a case on your device for sure. Towards the bottom, once again, we have a couple flaps covering the USB-C port and headphone jack to help keep out dust and debris. All of your side buttons are easily accessible and fairly easy to press. And again, a nice big cutout around back for everything that you need. Now, in the past, OtterBox Defender series cases have come with a built-in plastic screen protector to cover the screen up too. Unfortunately, that is not the case with the S8. The screen is bare and exposed, and instead, OtterBox offers their Alpha Glass screen protector separately, which is precision cut to fit just right with the Defender series and any other OtterBox cases. It's a shame they decided to go this route. The Alpha Glass is really expensive, but that is what OtterBox decided to do. Still, either way you look at it, the Defender series is one of the thickest and toughest cases on the market and offers unprecedented drop protection for your device no matter what you do with it. The only other negative with the Defender series is, like putting it on, taking it off is kind of a process. It's obviously not the kind of case you're going to be removing very often anyway, but going through and peeling off the rubber and trying to unclip everything is a bit of a hassle, which is understandable. Finally, if rubber and plastic aren't really your thing, the Strada Folio series is a super nice leather flip cover that's pretty different from OtterBox's other cases in a lot of ways. The exterior is a soft and premium genuine leather that's available in black or brown, and the inside is a nice microfiber material that looks and feels very premium. The case is pretty simple, no major designs or patterns, just some stitching down the middle and along the edges, and the leather extends all the way around to the back of the case as well. You'll notice that the actual piece that your phone sits in is this brown plastic, and you can sort of see it all outlined around the case, especially along the edges. Inside on the cover, you get a pocket to put a card or some cash. It's not a full wallet case exactly, but convenient enough if you want to stick something in there at least. The front cover also flips all the way around to the back and stays there using a couple magnets on the side, which is very convenient in keeping it out of the way when you use your phone. Installing the case is just a matter of sliding the phone right in, nothing too special there, and like I mentioned, peeling the cover all the way around not only keeps the case pretty compact, but also allows you to use your phone with one hand with no problems. Towards the bottom, the headphone jack, speaker, and USB-C port are completely open and exposed. Your buttons are covered up, but still relatively accessible even with the flip cover around, and you get a big cutout on the back, of course. The nice part about this case in particular is that when you aren't using your phone, the front cover fully protects the screen, so sliding it in and out of your pocket or knocking it around on a surface, the screen won't ever come in contact with anything, and you don't need any added screen protectors. So there you have it. These are all of the different OtterBox cases you can pick up for the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. Like I mentioned, I've always been a big fan of OtterBox. They've been in the industry for years and years, they're a trusted brand, everyone knows them, and they make really good, high quality, and durable cases. I will say though, it's no secret that all of OtterBox's cases are pretty pricey. The Symmetry is $45, the Commuter is $40, the Defender is $60, and the Strada is $50. You're certainly paying a premium, but in this case you really do get what you pay for. The cases are high quality and offer as much protection as you need, and in my opinion, if you're spending like $800 on a device, you may as well spend a little extra money and get the best possible cases to protect the thing anyway. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned, there will be links to everything down below if you want to pick one up for yourself. Let me know what you think of the OtterBox cases in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.